before. But instead of jumping right into my emails, I sit down and I try to make myself write at least 3 notes, personal notes in the morning. So, and that's been really, I've gotten a lot of really nice feedback for that. Just people saying, oh, I got your note, it was nice, thanks for thinking of me. I've been slowly trying to I've used the Facebook birthday thing to kind of slowly add birthdays. And if I see someone that I know with an anniversary on there, I'll pop into my CRM and just add it in there real fast. Or if I see, I've just been trying to make mental notes. If I see someone I know that just got a new dog, or I had a couple of friends that just got engaged, I've been kind of trying every day to just make sure that I do that. Because if I don't do it that day, I feel like I will just forget it and it'll be too late by the time I do it. And so that's been really helpful to me, just getting up and getting the notes done right away in the morning before I get my brain thinking about anything else.
That's fantastic. One of the other things I want, so I need one more from you, but another thing I want you guys to speak to too is if you have anything pending or you've closed anything, or what has happened in this 100 days as far as that's concerned. You've been pumping the well, and whatever the results have been, you're going to benefit from this. But has any of that happened so far during this 100 days?
So I've gotten a lot of people that have kind of reached out to me and said, I know somebody who's, going to be looking for a house. And then I ask them if I can contact them. And then I do. And they say, oh, I've already been working with somebody. Mm-hmm. So I feel like it's really good because the people that I've been marketing to have been trying to refer me. Right. It's just been a little bit late, unfortunately.
It's okay. It's okay. It's starting. It's that, what is it? What does he call it? The critical mass. Like you're creating, critical mass doesn't happen right away. Like it doesn't take as long as it used to take when there wasn't anything called social media, but it takes a while, but that's great.
And you just said that they're trying to refer you, which is the main point. Yeah. I remember years ago, I had a client of mine, A+ client, and she referred me all the time. She was a pastor of a church. And I remember one time she popped into one of my open houses and we had a great conversation. And she said, Tim, I'm going to stop referring you. She said, I've sent you 12 people in the last year and not a single one have panned out. And I said to her, don't stop referring me. No. I said, the fact that they don't pan out, I said, this is a numbers game. Don't worry about it. We just had that. And I just like, please keep referring me. And it's the way it works. They don't always pan out. And really quick, while you were talking about the personal notes, I have to tell you, that's the one thing that I can genuinely say I do well. Now, I know my handwriting is horrific, but it's that I get the personal notes out. And I will say for a long time ago, I was doing personal notes before I learned who Brian Buffini was. And the impact those have on people really, really does make a difference. One of the things I do is because I do on average about 10 a day. I look to see, I'll go through my phone list to see who I've spoken to in the last 24 hours, to see if any of those warranted a personal note. And then also I look at my calendar to see what I did in the last 24 hours, to see what there as a person deserves a personal note. So this morning I went to a breakfast in Council Bluffs, which was all realtors. It was the Swire, Southwest Iowa Board of Realtors breakfast. And I have about 12 notes I have to write today because I bumped into so many people. And I just, and again, I know that's different because it's not my clients, but I don't care about that, So anyway, keep on those personal notes. They're very powerful.
Yeah, Facebook has been a really easy way to kind of cheat about something. I'll just go into my news feed and see what people are up to lately.
True.
That's and then really I can just cheat. That's actually one of my things that I do for my lead generation time is I review Facebook, and that gives me a direction for the day. Sometimes is I see what's going on with people. I would hate to run into somebody and say, hey, how's your mom? How's your this? And they say, well, she died last year. And I
Right.
didn't know it. And so I try to, most people post events and life happenings on Facebook of some kind. So don't think that that's cheating. That is a strategy.
Yeah.
It's a strategy.
I was going to say this morning I was celebrating, not only because this was the last class of this, but I got my first accepted offer for
Good.
as an agent that was not my own house. So
Congratulations.
thank you. We've looked at a lot of houses. This is only the second actual offer I had to write for them. So
Well, that's a congratulations to you also. That's great. So the 100 days was worth the one celebration day.
Yeah.
Okay, who's next? Corey?
Yeah, I can go. So two of mine are kind of similar. So I think the biggest thing that I took away from this and I gained from this was kind of a sense of direction. I think that's what I was lacking before.
I like that.
Is I felt like I had some of the pieces, but I didn't know how to put them together. And I feel like this has really done a good job of doing that. And I've kind of always struggled with goal setting for myself because I'm kind of just a roll with the punches type of person. It's just kind of always how I've been. So I've kind of pushed away goals because I feel like they make me stick to a path, and I don't like doing that. So I think this has been good to show me that it's okay to set those goals, and those aren't controlling me. Those are just helping guide me and giving me that direction. And then something too that I know that I've done is I've already kind of started going back and redoing the first few modules because I was a little overwhelmed when we started this class because I was in the middle of closing the most transactions that I've ever done in a year. I did it in 2 months. So it was I need to go back and truly make sure that I process those because there's a couple times where I've kind of questioned and gone back like, oh, they talked about it. I was not obviously paying attention. Need to redo that. So I've already planned on doing that and possibly hopping on a couple of those new classes. So
Great. You're all invited to the
Yep.
next round. So
Do
Tim,
we,
Tim will be reaching out to all the new age. He's already reached out to all the new agents who's signing up for the class. You guys don't have to pay for it if you want to join. I would suggest that if you do want to join, that you make a commitment to at least 3/4 of the classes, just so you're not coming and going. And I think you guys can be really helpful to the new agents. It's that the next class up is always going to be, sometimes you're more helpful than we are because we've had too much of a separation between that same time. So I'd love to have you guys join us if you can.
Yeah, Scott.
I'm with Corey. I'm kind of revisiting a lot of those first modules too. I felt like I got behind and never really quite caught back up. I was wondering how long we're going to retain access to all the training videos for after today.
Don't know. Carol?
You will have them, I think, until the end of the month, which is not very many days, unless you sign up for Referral Maker again. The you mean the training videos, the 14 weeks of training videos?
Yeah, the modules and the information, everything, just everything that came along with it here.
Those will go away. If you continue on with Referral Maker, which they have a deal for $240 a month, I'm not a month, Jesus, a year, $20 a month. They probably have already reached out to you.
They have.
Yeah. I would suggest that you keep that going because you'll have access to the documents that all the same documents that you had. So like your e-reports, all of that stuff you'll have access, right, Tim? The e-reports are still on that. And then the basic documents that are in there. You will not have access to the 14-week class. I will be the only one that has access to that. And I only have access to it, I believe, during the class as well. So the 14 weeks. However, all of these all of these classes are recorded and should be, aren't they up on the YouTube?
Everyone. Yep.
Yeah, everyone. So you could go back through these classes. And then if you get the CRM Pro, and I just saw they have like a pretty big discount on CRM Pro, which is the elevated one where you still get the box. So you can do any of those. You can talk to them at Buffini about what would work for you. But you could always have access to things. If you need something and you don't have access to it, you can always reach out to either Tim or I, because we have everything. So.
I don't know if it's helpful to anybody else, but I had gone through, like, you can go through and download all the documents. So I downloaded them all and saved them. And then you can't get the videos of like the Buffini, like talking videos, but you can get all the role play videos. Like there's a link to all of them that I saved on a Google Doc, and I don't have to be logged into anything to see it, because it's the link isn't through Referral Maker. It's like this like brightcove.net thing. So those are at least helpful, because I find the role play videos to be most helpful.
Yeah, the role play ones, and the ones that are just like about Referral Maker and lessons, different trainings. Those are available, and I believe they're still available through Referral Maker beyond this class. So let's finish with who was it that was starting? Corey. Let's finish with, I need 2 more from you of what you got. So the biggest one was your sense of direction, which is great. You know where you're going. So what else? You're muted, Corey.
Goals was my other one, just having a true actual set goals and knowing and having a way to get those. Mm-hmm. And then I just forgot the word. Truly, I guess working on the relationships. That was something that I didn't do a very good job of before, is I would stay in contact for those first few months after I closed, and then I would kind of let it fade. So having, doing a monthly pop by, not just a couple times a year, I think that's going to be big, just to keep in contact. And then truly having a set database has been nice to have all of the information in one place, because it was all over before. So
yeah, it's good. Great. Scott, do you want to continue? You said that you've been revisiting the classes, but what things have you been able to practice and accomplish through this? I know you've got other things that you are involved in too. So
yeah, so the win the day formula was really helpful to me. I was starting to feel a little overwhelmed, and he kind of laid it all out that there is time to do this and succeed at it without it consuming every minute of every day. And I really appreciated that. And kind of tied to that is the phone calls. I've just been making phone calls, which were long overdue anyway, because it's been nice catching up with people. Mm-hmm. The pop buys, I'm still kind of trying to feel out. We're still in that gray area, or some people are ecstatic to see you, and some people, for every half step forward you take, they take a full step back, and you can tell they just really don't want to be around you. Yeah. So I'm still trying to kind of feel that out. But the third thing would be those info packets. I found them to be really helpful, and I'm also kind of taking the bones out of them and using them for more like a template, if you will, because I want to make them my own too, just less cookie cutter, but lots of really valuable information. You can tell that they really know what they're doing and give you exactly what you need to pass along to your clients.
The Popeye thing, you don't have to see people.
Yeah, and I understand that too. I do. That's kind of what I'm going to evolve towards, I think.
Hit and run, we call it.
The reality is, in this market, this is the best time, because I was very uncomfortable with Popeyes for a long time. And this is a good market to soften yourself, where you can do the drop and runs. And then when the next time when you see them, it'll be a little less awkward. Like, oh, you already know I'm here. Just dropping by a little trinket. By the way, the win the day formula, that was, I may have said it back when we first talked about it, that truly was a dynamic shift for me. because I was just running ragged, always feeling guilty, never feeling like I was getting anything done. I mean, I never once, even now, probably have never had 100% week or 100%, hit it all. So when I started realizing, when Brian talked about, getting 80% and then considering that to be a win, it took all this pressure off me. And I just, now it really, really, really made a difference for me. So I'm glad to hear you say that.
It's a let yourself off the hook formula to me. And I agree, Tim, it was a paradigm shift for me. Because I always think every day you got to be hitting something, and it was win or lose for me. Like, and this was like, oh well, I still have time to win, and win doesn't have to look perfect. If we get that early on, like there's no perfect. That's a these are, you guys are really making me happy because you're pulling all the things out that I know will sustain you. Maybe they're not, maybe it's not giving you the rewards right this minute, but these are the things that will sustain you. It's the reason why people like Tim and myself and many other people who created and worked on relational-based businesses for so long are every single day we're getting referrals from people. And they're not these chase them and run leads. These are actual, like, the critical mass can be established, and you see it in people like Tim that as well as great as he's done for years and years and years. I mean, it's like exploded this year, right, Tim? And it's only because the critical mass has hit, because you're doing the kind of things that you guys already know are the best things you could be pulling out of this. So right the hell on for all of that. So who's next? Paul, you're unhooked there.
My takeaways are similar to what the others have already shared. I think I would rank high on my list having a CRM and a database, because going into that, I didn't have that. So getting that set up. And then I'd call it just the blueprint to run on as far as what activities to do each month. And, the calls, the e-reports, the letters, all of that. I didn't have any idea what to do or what volume of activity prior to coming into this. So that's been great to have this, have that as a blueprint. As far as results, it's been pretty much exactly what they said. So two closed transactions and one pending. And, I'd like to think it probably would have been more if the market was a little bit different. So, but I'm very confident that what we learned, if you do the activity, results will follow. So those are my takeaways.
Love it.
You guys are really in a good position to get lots of practice at writing offers, which seriously, I mean, I'm not trying to downplay how frustrating this market can be, but I know lots of agents who went like 6 months and they never even had an opportunity to write an offer, like let alone get anything accepted. Well, totally different market, but I mean, you guys are going to be experts at writing very strategic offers, like really good. You will have experience that many agents don't have. I mean, like, think about how many offers. Would you say you wrote for these people, Kathy?
This is the eighth.
So,
And it was quick. They wanted it like within 30 minutes, and I was able to do that and remember all the little things to look up. And I'm definitely getting there on the offer.
Yeah, like if nothing else, you guys will be a whole group of people who are expert offer writers. And this market will change. It will change. Did any of you watch that video that I posted from Dawn had posted it, and I posted? I'm personally not a Dave Ramsey follower, but I respect his attitude about money, and it just doesn't really work with me. I'm not that disciplined. And he's very conservative about money and paying things off, and he does some amazing things. But he did a prediction, his view of where the market's going. And I posted it on I think I posted it on my regular Facebook. I didn't post it on our agent one. Did you see it, Tim? Did you
No.
watch that?
Sorry, I haven't even been on Facebook. Sorry.
You got to hear what he has to say. I was blown away by what he had to say about this market is not going away. We are not any place close. It's about bubble. It says, is there a bubble? Somebody asked, it was a radio show or something. And he said, it is not a bubble. It's going up from here. So he said that he predicted that rates will continue to go up a little slower, and there'll be a few less buyers, but the increase in equity is going to be increasing at the same levels. It's just going to keep on going. We are not in a bubble, which that was a lot for him to say, because the guy
it really was
about money.
Well, this demand we're feeling right now and seeing right now is true, real demand. These are buyers that are desperate to find homes. In 2008, that market, 40% of it was investors and second-time home buyers and people that weren't able to qualify for loans but got loans anyway. What we're experiencing right now is legit, true housing shortage.
Yeah, it is. And so listen to those kind of things. Brian Buffini did one last week that was an RIS media. And I think I did post that one on our agent page. They're all saying the same things. So who's next? We got
Kathleen Dennis.
Kathleen Dennis.
Yeah, I can go. In part, I had a very short runway because I was truly starting at the beginning of this. So nothing was a review. Everything was.
When did you start?
Brand new. The first of the year was when I started.
January. Okay.
Yeah. So a lot of the things that I have accomplished have to do with like really setting up my business. So like I have a box for everything I need for an open house, and I have a box for some gifts that I consistently give, templates for flyers and social media posts, and new buyer packets were designed and printed and bound, and I made intake forms and I kind of stashed them in the various places in my house that I'm likely to take a phone call. So those were big for me because I like to have a ground floor to kind of build off of. So that was my biggest, I think, the thing that will really set me up to go when things are getting a little crazy. Not that they're not very busy now, but because also my runway, I didn't start having clients at all until after the class started. I don't have anybody under contract yet, but a lot of activity.
You have a lot of seeds planted. And
right.
What is the biggest activity that you've done for building your database and doing all those things? Are you sending e-reports? Have you been doing you've obviously been building your database. In the action steps towards your clients, what's the biggest thing you feel like you've accomplished?
I have a pretty big database going in. So I actually did some paring down of that for who I'm actually going to mail things to. So I do have a template that I use for monthly mailers for my personal Sphere database. And I just started, because I've also started a farm in my neighborhood since the beginning of this that I've been building. So now I have another 200 homes that I've now kind of, it's like a version of that same newsletter, but a little different to be very specific to our neighborhood. Okay. And then I've started events in our neighborhood also. So those were also big and brand new things that
those are huge. Do you know how many agents get going with business and they never go back and do any of that stuff? I mean, I still don't have a buyer packet. Honestly,
oh gosh, yeah.
I can tell you the truth. I don't have a buyer. We had one on our team, or we have stuff for our team. I find it bulky. I pretty much am the same as Tim. I show up with a notepad and a pen and talk, and just listen to people. And it's not that that's the right thing to do, but I would love to have all that stuff just to be able to go, okay, in this drawer is this. I have all those things. Thank God I can talk people into stuff, But no,
it's helpful too for you to have all that information in your head. Whereas for me, it's still helpful to have that book and be like, page 1.
Yeah, exactly. It's what you need to set up. Like, you're probably one of those people that completely cleans off your desk before you start working. Yeah. So
Depends on what's going on in life.
if you're setting yourself up, you will succeed. Everything that you guys are doing, and everybody has different ways of doing it. I'm setting up all the templates and having already started a farm. That's how you do it. You're planting seeds. You're the gardener. She's probably, Tim, relationally a gardener as well as yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, who we have left? Dennis?
Yeah. So I'm still working to build better habits. I think a couple of things that I do better now. The taking breakfast or lunch to a business. I've stuck with the muffin thing, and that's I mean, gets a positive response every time. So that's something that I've definitely stuck with, and I'm getting better about using the CRM and doing all the activities in that. But it's I'm still kind of working to be more proactive and less reactive. I spent a lot of the time of this 100 days trying to juggle 5, 6, 7 buyers. So it was kind of hard for a lot of the class to do some of it, just because I had so much time consumed with, because I was writing offers for all 5, 6, 7 of those people at one time too. And I've gotten 7 total. One of them's closed, 7 under contract over this 100 days. But because of that, I kind of lost out on some of the time that I should have been doing this other stuff, because was chasing my tail writing, 5, 6 offers for everybody.
Mm-hmm. That's fantastic. Where are you getting the people for writing the offers? So you must be doing something.
So a couple of them were off of leads that I got from either Ethan or Zillow, but a lot of them were from my friends lists, or one was a referral from a past client. One was a repeat already. I've only been doing this 3 years, and I've had 2 repeat clients already. Yeah, just my sphere. And one of them was because I was going out of my way to do pop buys and try and expand my circle, my sphere of influence, just because of this class.
So are we going to call you the Muffin Man now?
What's that?
Are we going to call you the Muffin Man now?
Hey, I'm fine with that.
Why not? Why not run with it? If that's, that's something that works, that would be actually kind of cool. The Muffin Man Realtor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Best habit. What's the best habit that you've gotten into? Number 1, best habit that you guys.
It's a good question.
Listening to my people.
Wow.
Trying to.
You guys blow me away sometimes.
Not to try and force something that isn't there, but listen to what they want and what they're saying. Kind of like you said, Tim. They're saying Bellevue, but they're telling you Midtown.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one.
Yeah. Bridget, best habit.
Well, other than the notes, I guess I would say I've been really trying hard to do videos once a week on my page. So it's been kind of a goal of mine, at least once a week, to get on and talk about something, no matter what it is. So I've been doing pretty good at that. And it's not something that's been easy for me to do. And I still feel very awkward, and I don't like to watch them myself, but I'm putting them out there.
Bridget, you're ahead of me. I need to do video so bad, and I have no interest in doing it. So I finally hired somebody and told her, your job is to make me do videos.
He's paying somebody to be his accountability partner.
Exactly right.
Well, that's what we do when we pay a coach is, you're paying for somebody to hold you accountable, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with it as long as you're getting the results out. These are great things, by the way. Paul, what's a new habit that what habit have you developed from this? One thing.
I mean, my habit is just following the activities. I mean, I didn't know what they were before.
Mhm.
And so now I've got, a schedule of the activities each month and just plow ahead.
Yeah. Next.
Mine's very similar. I was going to say putting things on the calendar. So the things that I want to do every single week or every single month now have like a set recurring date every single time.
That makes such a difference, doesn't it?
And it gives you some consistency yourself of like, I know I do this on Tuesdays.
Yeah. And calendars are not for the results. Calendars are for what drive the results.
Sure.
Which is, you don't put it on the calendar like, okay, well, cash a check today for $5,000. Like, no, you do the things that are going to get you to that. So those are in your goals. So yeah, perfect. Katie?
Yeah, I was just going to say using my database, making sure that to continue to add or continue to qualify folks in my database, and then using my database to follow up with people that I've had contacts with. Just
Using database meaning like opening it and seeing what kind of activities are being called that day.
Activities they want me to get done, but also just following up with folks that I need to follow up with that I have in my database.
Okay. Makes total sense. Who else? Scott?
I'm gonna go back to the formula, and I've been kind of checking out for 2 hours every day and just shutting the door and doing things that might not seem at the moment, but kind of planning for the future. I'm planting those seeds, like you guys say. I'm just doing things that I know are gonna lead to results, and just accepting the fact that this stuff needs to be done, and it's gonna, whether you see it or not, it's gonna produce results. And so I've been trying to just kind of put one foot in front of the other and do these things that you guys recommend, that Brian recommends, that, who am I to argue with you guys? So I'm just moving forward here, making lots of phone calls at the moment.
Yeah. Hey, Tom. Tom joined us.
Hi.
Hey, Tom.
Hey guys, how are you?
Good.
We have
Good.
one more left. Did we have one more left on what's the best habit that you've learned, Corey?
Corey.
Mine was the write notes. I absolutely did not do that before. And when we started this, I was told myself, I was like, let's start, make my goal small so I can make sure I attain it. And I was doing 3 a week, and now I'm doing at least 1 a day, if not more than that, Monday through Friday. So I've gotten 2 from it already. So it's made me create something new. And I try to set time after dinner is usually when I do it. I sit down and try to at least knock one out. So
That's fantastic. So Bridget, you said every day you're doing 3, like
Yeah, I do 3 in the morning right when I get up. Yeah.
Fantastic. Great. And
One of the things that I'll chime in and say, the thing about this class, and thank you for timing in, Tom. You're just getting at the end of everybody saying what they've gotten from this class and the organization that it's created, is this field. It's very easy to get into this field and then wake up in the morning and not know what to do. And this class, it helps give you some structure and some guidance. So when business is weird or business is down, you at least, because you don't have a boss, you have nobody telling you this is what you got to do today. So I'm so glad that you guys were here. I'm so glad that you were part of the structure. and that you got the structure from it. The other thing I'll say, and this was in Brian's video from today, the final video, was the hope as you go forward, never forget to stop never stop asking for the referrals. You just have to always ask for the referrals. People are not naturally planning to refer you every day. They're not really thinking about where's your business coming from. They want to help you, they want to refer you, but you have to be willing to ask for it. It's really, really important. And then I will say that one of the biggest things that I ever took out of the Buffini classes was the budgeting. Budgeting was such an important thing for me. I'm one of those people that just easy to put the money aside and ignore it. And Brian is brilliant at it. I always had this concept that that money was budgeting was for poor people. Poor people needed to budget to get them out to get them to, you know, pay the bills. But the reality is budgeting is for the rich people. It's the more money you have, the more you have to budget, the more you have to take care of it. And so it's always been a real big deal for me. So
your feedback has been fantastic. And Tom, for your information, we've recorded this. So, and we've asked each one of them to talk about the three biggest things that they've taken from this class that will be habits and the things that have set them in the foundation for their business. Their feedback was incredible, and I hope you get to listen to it. But for all of you, I think one of the biggest things that I heard from you is you got the contact, care, and community piece of relational business. Every single one of you named something that had to do with contact, care, and community, and building that foundation, planting the seeds that right now are going to grow into these amazing gardens for you that will be a referral relational business to add to anything else that you do over the years. Every one of you spoke to that you've set up your CRM and your database. And that, if that was it, if that was the only thing that you did out of this class after 100 days, which this is 100 days, if that was the only thing that you did was completely set up a rock star database with everybody qualified, and that's what all of you have just been talking about, is that you have systems that are in place to keep that going, along with everything else that you learn and mesh with Better Homes and Gardens and the trainings that come at you constantly. My money's on all of you, every single one of you. I'm so proud. And Leslie, thanks for joining us too. This has been recorded, Leslie, and every one of them just talked about what they've gotten over 100 days, and we're going to give them back to you and let them keep producing. And then the next class that we're going to have is going to be May 10th. We're starting, and some of them are going to come back and do this again. Yep. They won't be signed up again. They're just going to come back and do it. So I'm going to kind of turn this over now to Tom and Leslie to talk to you guys about whatever they want to talk to you guys about on your final day and your graduation. So.
Well, thank you, Carol. I'll just real briefly want to thank Tim and Carol for their stewardship of this program to start with. They're wonderful ambassadors of relational marketing, our Better Homes and Gardens family here locally. And they do an incredible job of marrying those ideals and that local culture and our strong brand and the Buffini relational philosophies. I think that there's so much synergy between those interests that it benefits us all greatly, and they've weaved that web very, very wisely. And so we're all very blessed for that. But I really want to take a moment to thank all of you, because when you embark upon this adventure, and I think Tim said it very appropriately, is that you don't have a job, or a boss, and there's limitations on structure, and you have all kind of these moving parts, and how do you bring them all together? And it really takes somebody with, intestinal fortitude to do this particular occupation, because it can be lonely, and it can be, it's very independent. And the fact that you're all willing to invest in yourself and attend these classes, it says something about your ability to flourish in the future, because you're investing in yourselves. And believe it or not, very few brokerages and very few agents actually invest in themselves, invest in each other. And so the fact that you've taken the time and the energy and your talent and utilized it in a productive and powerful way with great mentorship is an amazing thing and a gift to all of us. So I want to give you guys a lot of credit because it's easy to not do this stuff. It's easy to kind of put your head in the sand and say it's a tough market and ignore the heavy lifting, so to speak. And you guys have done the heavy lifting for 100 days. And I think it's an incredible tribute to your character and your stick-to-itness and your commitment to your ultimate success. So with that all said, I'll let Leslie kind of bring it to fruition here. But I'm very, very pleased and impressed and appreciative of all of you. And now that things are starting to open up, you're gonna have to see my ugly mug if you attend any of these things, because I want to see y'all and be with y'all, because it's important to do so. It's important to be together, and I think the fact that Carol and Tim have done such a good job of creating an environment like this, even via Zoom, we're just going to build on that. And I'm really proud and impressed with all of you. And I've had an opportunity to talk to all of you in some capacity over the last period of time, but I'm looking forward to more time together. So with that, I'm going to give it to Leslie. I'm going to sign off because I've got to get somewhere by noon. But I just wanted to tell you how appreciative I am of you, and understand also, always understand, please understand that I work for you, and that I'm available. You have my cell number anytime that you need anything. Morning, noon, or night, 365, 24/7. It is my job to meet your needs. So never hesitate to pick up the phone and call. So thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks for
Thank
doing
you.
it.
Thanks, Tom.
Well, I'm definitely going to echo some of the things that Tom said, because it's absolutely true. And the dedication that you guys have to your career in real estate is going to be the driver of your ultimate success. And the good thing is that you can there's always things for us to do and you can show up and do. However, it's having that 100 days to greatness and having that pathway makes that efficient. So that's where that bridge between comes. And Carol and Tim are so passionate about seeing you all succeed that, they've put so much work and effort and energy into providing that direction and that map versus just kind of showing up. Anybody can come to the office every single day and find things to do, right? It's the focused energy and strategy that's going to get you where you need to be. And if you focus on those habits and those pieces of your business and doing them very consistently and making sure that they're a priority and also enjoying them, right? So if you don't enjoy it, that's going to come through in whatever activity that you do. But if you show up every day and you do those things, you will see that success come. And if something's not jiving on all cylinders, well, we're here to help you. So that's why we're here. That's why Carol leads those ATAs with quality content from agents that are doing it right now versus what, we could stand up in front of you and say, hey, here's what you do every day, now go do it, right? But that's not necessarily effective. We can sit, that's also why we don't really promote, which we will, because it's getting better, but that's also why we don't necessarily promote a lot of the virtual learning or the recorded sessions from just general Better Homes and Gardens, because the interaction is so much more having these face-to-faces, whether or not we're Zoom or in person, having someone there that knows, okay, I'm taking this course and I'm going to be here because there are 10 other people that are going to keep me accountable for this, versus just, we could very easily just say, all right, go watch some videos. But Carol and Tim have really wrapped their arms around it. And I think that it is a really unique situation that some of you may or may not know with other brokerages, but we really do care for your success. And we very easily could have not done a mentor or a new agent educational training, because I don't know if everybody knows or not, but our history at the beginning was we really only took experienced agents, because we didn't have the capacity to be training new agents. We didn't have the system set up, but it's a lot easier. I'll say that from our end, it's way easier to have an experienced agent and say, nope, we're not taking new agents. If you don't have any experience, well, good luck, go to someplace else. And so we did not have a new agent or mentoring or any kind of resource for the agents that didn't have a direction. We just have the trainings for experienced agents. So for them to step up and say, hey, we need this, let's provide it. We can do it better, and we can help more agents succeed as they're getting into the marketplace instead of kind of floating around not knowing what to do. So I think that's really commendable to these guys. And also, again, for you guys showing up and doing the work, it's really easy to just say, yeah, I'm going to do that, and then not, right? Like Tom mentioned, you don't have a boss coming into real estate. And a lot of times that almost creates decision overload, right? So when you go to the toothpaste aisle, if there were 3 toothpastes, I would only spend about 30 seconds and grab one and go. There's an entire aisle of toothpaste. I'm like that marketer's dream customer, because I will look at every single shiny box before I make a decision. And so it can feel very overwhelming when you get into real estate, because you don't necessarily know where to start. You don't show up at 9 a.m. and there's someone there handing you your new paperwork, making you watch some HR videos and giving you a task list of things to do that day and train you on your way. So it really is imperative and important that you guys are stepping up, showing up, doing the things and following the pathways of that guidance, because ultimately what happens is we get shiny object syndrome. So I want you guys to know, stay focused on the path that you have right now, what you've learned in 100 Days to Greatness. Stick with those habits, get those to be almost like breathing, right? You do this all of the time. Once you're at that point where these are habits, you don't have to think about it. It's not like pulling teeth to try to do. You don't have to remember to do, whatever note cards or call or send. Then start adding, then start watching those ATAs, then start thinking about what your next marketing piece is. Only after you, as Carol always says, go a mile or an inch wide, mile deep, inch wide, whatever. You know what I mean?
Mile deep.
Yes, inch wide, mile deep. Only until you get that mile deep, then go to something else. I'm telling you from personal experience, where I did not do some of those things that I thought I maybe had mastered, and jumped into something brand spanking new, but also from agents that I've watched that have either come into the business and succeeded very quickly and very well, and agents that have kind of just lost the momentum and the excitement for it. And once that happens, then you're kind of looking for that quick fix, kind of like weight loss, right? If you were to kind of if I would have been eating well my entire life, then I could make a change and start doing something else to hone it in. But once you kind of get to that point where it feels overwhelming, then you have to go back to the basics, right? Go back to the basics, which is your sphere, your personal contacts, your notes, your phone calls. Get those in place, build that foundation, and then start adding the curtains and the couches and the shiny things. But congrats to everybody. And I hope that I know that it's been a really intensive piece, but I think that from what I've heard, it's been pretty successful and amazing to kind of watch and see and do and learn. So I'm really excited for you guys to see what you have, because like you guys said, then you're off to the races with me. Well, I'm happy to walk through any of those kind of shiny objects with you. I kind of like to look at myself as a librarian, right? So you come to me and say, I have to do a book report on whales. Well, I'm not going to give you ocean books and, terrain, mountain stuff. We're going to talk about what you want to talk about whales. And then I'm going to find the books that are specific to you. So just like any tool, every time I do even one-on-one business planning meetings, I'm never going to just throw the book at you. We're going to talk about what you want and what your goals are, so that we can kind of get into that very specific action plan with the right tools in place, just specifically for you. So don't feel like you have to dabble in everything. If you hear something on an ATA from, say, even a year ago, when we started recording these things, or a training that I had maybe mentioned, just remember that exists. And when you need it, call me. You can call me for anything, pretty much any greenhouse tool. Most of the industry tools, I need to get to know HomeSnap a little bit better, to be honest with you. But most anything, if there's a tool out there for it, I can help guide you into whether or not you feel it's a good fit for you, or get you in the right direction of somebody who can.
Beautiful.
Fantastic. Anybody have any feedback for Leslie? Okay, well, I think probably one of the best things you just said is talking about focused energy and habits, because I think that's what they all just kind of alluded to that, or those are the things that they've gleaned the most from this 100 days of classes, and all of them that you're looking at, and then in a few more have been totally faithful and loyal to this. I want to commend you guys all on being loyal to yourself more than anything, like investing in yourself and the time in yourself. And like I said before, my money's on you. And this whole company's money is on you, because I see all of you just going beyond your own expectations, extraordinarily so. So we will have graduation certificates for all of you. Rhonda's in the process of doing that. We'll get them over to you, and then we'll also get you a digital copy so that you can brag on yourself because you made it. Congratulations to all of you. And one of the things that I want you to remember is, somebody told me this years ago, is there's only two places that you operate in life. You either stumble around in the dark or you stumble around in the light. And we hope that all of you have so much light in your lives now because of having spent this last 100 days. And like Leslie said, like Tom said, Tim said, and I will say, we are there to help you in any room that you need to change a light bulb. We're there to keep the light going. And we've got class after class after class. If you see classes that you think we should be doing, please reach out to any of us. That's how we have developed this. This is agents teaching agents, continued. And we're starting here at 100 days. The next class, any one of you are welcome to do. And then we'll be having more of the additional classes that we were doing before, the more as you progress classes. So
Yep.
that's about all I got. Thank you all very much. And we're here. You can call any of us. Tim, do you have any last words?
Well, no, that's it. Congratulations on passing the class. And like I said, never stop asking for referrals and doing a great job, and your clients will refer you.
Yep.
That's the name of the game.
Okay. Take care, you guys.
Awesome. Great work,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.